When I say Liverpool as a team is lucky, I'm not really talking about Liverpool. I'm more of focusing about the team around them. Now, in my opinion, or let's get this thing out now. It is middle of March. Apparently, today is 13th of March. As of when I'm recording, apparently it's my birthday. So if you come across this video, wish me a happy birthday in the comment. Thank you. But it's March, and it looks like the title race is over, if there was any. And the three side that will be going down to the relegation side is pretty much decided, and it's March, and this is meant to be the best league in the world. In my opinion, I think this is the worst Premier League. Or I'm asking you, is this the worst Premier League season? Now, if the Premier League is the best league in the world, as we claim to be, I think it doesn't make sense that a match the title race is already decided. And this is why I say Liverpool as a team is a very, very lucky team. It doesn't have anything to do with Liverpool playing out of luck. Actually, I think their side is a very, very good side. I think they play some very good football. I won't say exciting football, but they play the football like that gets them the results. I feel like the Anslot is a very, very, very good manager. I think you cannot be good and just come a season and you win the Premier League. Cannot be good, just good. But there are some circumstances, some underlying circumstances, because if you look across around that Liverpool team, around that Premier League table, every team around that table is, I don't know how to put this without me swearing, but like, it's shit. If you are talking about the second place Arsenal, who we are supposed to sign a striker to actually have a chance of competing, you are competing for Premier League, and your striking option is Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz. These two strikers put together cannot give you a 30 goal a season. They cannot give you a 30 goals a season, and that's crazy. And for you to be a side that can win the Premier League, I think you should have a striker that puts up 20 goals plus. And this is not just about the striker. This is like about, your other front line coming up with goals as well. But Arsenal doesn't have that, and obviously there was an opportunity in January. Not like they're going to win it, because the league was kind of far from them. They didn't take it. And if you watch something that has been happening regularly with Arsenal and Liverpool, is that anytime Liverpool drops points, Arsenal drops points. Arsenal doesn't capitalize on City's points. This is a team that claim to, if City is to drop off, we will be there. And now let's get to City. City has been so horrible, so abysmal this season. They have been the worst team. They are beaten by, what's the name, Sporting Lisbon. They drew with Feyenoord. They are beaten by Real Madrid. They are beaten by a lot of teams. Like, they almost didn't qualify for the playoff. Like, that shows you how bad this Man City team is. And this is the reigning champion. They are the current champion of the Premier League. This is the current champion of the Premier League, and they are this bad. And that is when I say across every other team there is rubbish. And now if you look at Nottingham Forest, now that's crazy. That shows you how bad this season is. I'm not actually trying to like disrespect Nottingham Forest, because I really think they have some good players like Olaino, what's his name, Hudson-Odoi, Elanga. They have a very, very good backline, better backline than Chelsea. Actually, they have Murillo and Milinkovic, who I think are very, very solid, and they have an experienced striker in what's his name, Chris Wood. They have a very experienced striker in Chris Wood. They have a very, very good team, but like, let me tell you, like on a good Premier League season, Nottingham Forest is not to be finishing where they are finishing. And I'm not in any way undermining their achievements or undermining the achievements of Nuno Espirito Santos. I'm not in any way doing that, but I'm just kind of highlighting why I think this is the worst Premier League season I've ever seen. Now, it has been happening for a while. We'll get to the relegation side. Now, if you watch Chelsea, this was a team that people were having in conversation, even though we didn't actually agree that we are in title race conversation. But this was a team that a lot of people had in conversations of, then the title race, they are competing, blah blah. You guys should, you guys should, like, there are a lot of things like hopes of chill guys and 3 point collectors and blah blah blah. The drop off of Chelsea need to be studied. See, after I ate Christmas rice, or after we as Chelsea fans ate Christmas rice, our life have never been the same since then, because we went on a losing streak. Actually, it was first of all we started drawing. From draw, we started losing. We dropped a lot of points. Like, imagine we dropped a lot of points that we went from being third to being fourth or fifth with the amount of points we have dropped. The only thing that is left to fight this season is actually the top four, or should I say top five, because it looks like the what's the name? The Premier League side, will be getting a fifth place for Champions League actually. And when I say top four, Liverpool is definitely finishing first. Arsenal is definitely ending on second, because in as much as I don't see them winning the rest of their matches, I don't see the teams behind them doing so, because they will drop points definitely. Now, if you look at it, Nottingham Forest will be there. I don't think they are dropping off. I think they might finish somewhere around third or something, or fourth. Now, the only place that is left is the fourth and fifth. And if you watch Newcastle, who is equally in the conversation to get the top four, are not really doing well. Bournemouth, not consistent enough. Aston Villa, not consistent enough. Now, Manchester United and Tottenham are languishing in the mid-table. Bruh, that's really crazy. Like, it's funny. It's funny, and that makes me, anytime I hear, I actually still believe that Premier League is the biggest league in the world. But and I hear those shouts this season, if you look at La Liga right now, there's still title race. Real Madrid, Atletico, Barcelona, they're still at it. You look at the Italian Serie A, there's still a title race, a 3-4 man horse race. You get me? And in the Premier League is done for something that we say is the best and the toughest and blah blah. It's not really it this season. Now, if you watch the relegation side, for the past 3 seasons, he has shown that the Championship and the Premier League are miles ahead. Now, you might talk about the money, money being involved. The money in the Premier League is just a lot. You get me? And you can equally still argue that there is a closing gap in terms of qualities, because if you look, a team like Newcastle could go out there, splash 70 million, 80 million on a player. And when Chelsea, Man City could do that, a team like that could do that. There's no team currently in the Premier League that cannot afford a player of 50 million. Because obviously you're getting it on your TV rights, streaming rights, you're getting it on sponsorship deal, you're getting it on match revenue. If you have, a very big stadium, or you have enough fans to like generate. But unless you are a Bournemouth that have a 11,000 seater stadium, you are generating that money back. If you are in the Premier League, you could say that's because if you watch every team in the Premier League, every team from top to bottom have a player that can start for any big system. Now, if you look at, let's use Ipswich as an example, you could look at players like Omar Hutchinson, you could look at players like Leon Delap. Now, if you go down to Southampton, you could call someone like Tyler Diblins and Sekune, or what's the name? So, what's this Ghanaian guy's name? There's this Ghanaian that is in Southampton that is really good. You could call him. Now, if you go at Leicester City, you can call Erkanus, you can call Fatao. So, like, all these lower teams, like, you can have players that could play for top teams. They have very good players. But there have been a trend in the past 3 seasons that, like, the relegation side of the Premier League, we have seen, like last season, the 3 side that came up went down. Obviously, this season, the 3 side that came up are going down. Is it the is it because the Premier League is so much quality, or is it because, like, the players that play in the Championship, the level is kind of different in the Premier League? And I've heard some players say, like, it's faster in the Premier League than it is in the Championship. You get me? And obviously, Premier League is a very hard league to play in. But, like, I've heard players say it is faster there. You get me? And all these things are things like, I'm looking at. I'm like, yeah, this season is not really at it. And this is when you say that Liverpool fans are lucky. It doesn't mean you guys are lucky winning matches. It just means that everything is just going according to plan for you guys. You guys are good. The rest of the team is shit. And that's not your fault. But we can call it for what it is. You understand me? You get me? But in my opinion, I don't know, but this is just my opinion. Do you think this is the worst Premier League season that I have ever seen? I think this is the worst in my opinion. Like, all my years of being alive, like I said, this is my birthday, and I think how old I am. I ain't gonna review that. But all my years of, okay, fuck it. I'm 23 years old today, but for the past, I think I can say for the past 10 years, I could visibly remember me watching, having a lot of football. Maybe in the past 7 years more, I could remember a lot of things that's happened in the past 7 years. I've never seen a Premier League season that is as bad as this in all my life. And in my opinion, that's why I think like this is the worst Premier League season. But I don't know. Tell me your opinion on it. You get me? Tell me your opinion on it, and tell me if you feel like I'm just bugging. You tell me why you feel like I am not. You know, I'm wrong. You know, we could debate on it. But yeah, that's all for now. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You go be.